Welcome to the Holy Hour Podcast. It's the bi-weekly all cure podcast. I'm Gavin, and I'm joined by Chaz and Antonio. Hello, fellas.
What's up?
Howdy.
Morning. It's bright and early here. Well, maybe not bright. Definitely not bright here, but early in the morning. We're recording this. I love the history of this show, where it went from me being incoherent because it was like 12 at night and I was drunk out of my mind, and now it's incoherent because it's 8 in the morning and I'm exhausted and can't.
You smoking cigarettes already?
Yeah. Not drunk out of my mind, at least. But
you got a cup of coffee and a cigarette, and you're just
we'll see what's the better balance, I guess, for me. But
Chaz has a.
Let me tell you about the federal government.
Yeah, we're officially an old man podcast now. We start at 8 in the morning. It's good.
We're also going to give you tips on your stocks.
So
buy gold and silver.
Yeah. Stock up on canned goods.
Exactly. So everybody take a big swig and get cozy. And but the point of this episode is not making sense, I guess. So it's very fitting. It's a long time coming. You know, some of those sequels, they take a while to materialize. And, like all great sequels.
This is the Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
You've been waiting so long.
That was a prequel.
Yeah.
She got me.
Yeah. Stop.
Got my ass.
We apologize for that.
Sorry, Scott.
Yeah.
He's raging, just punching his steering wheel, driving down the road.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is again, I didn't find the actual number. I did re-listen to it again, but it was one something. I think it was past the 100 mark last time. But we did a misinterpreted or misheard lyrics episode where we took a lot of listener comments and contributions of Cure lines that you've misheard over the years. And I think, like a lot of us, you probably misheard it initially and it kind of stuck, and then over time you either read the liner notes, the song words book, or just figured it out. And sometimes they sneak back in, you know, or you just don't,
or you just say them the way that you want to say them, like Giggle Biscuit, still my favorite name.
Yeah.
You need to make a shirt that just says Giggle Biscuit.
Giggle Biscuit, yeah. So if you haven't listened to that old episode, there were some gems in there, and Giggle Biscuit was in fact one of them, referring to the line in Doing the Unstuck. Giggle Bliss, jump, sing, and shout, I believe is the official line or something. But was it Amanda let's see, I got the old notes here too, trying to give everybody credit that sent stuff in. Yeah, Soph had given us the Giggle Biscuit. But listening back, Chaz even had heard the biscuit in there. You had said it was
taste the biscuit.
Get a biscuit. Get a biscuit.
I thought it was a sexual innuendo for the longest time. Right. I'm like, hey, that's what he calls it. That's whatever.
And we kind of came to that conclusion by the end of the episode that all of them are sexual references. Yeah. Like Robert's a dirty old man. It's like all these are like it's like by the end we all had like a different perception of the song High. You know, I think it was just a lot of licky, trippy, sippy things.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, saucy
boppity.
Yeah. But so yeah, that was a highlight. We had the classic Cajun Tigers from Coulter on Love Cats. We move like Cajun tigers. So now I hear that.
I'm a Cajun tiger.
Yeah, a little Cajun tiger. So yeah. And a lot of these, you know, I'll apologize in advance, might stick in your head. Like we're saying now, every time I hear that, I hear Giggle Biscuit and Cajun Tigers. But, you know, a lot of these are going on 40 years old, so it's good to change it up to add a little spice to the song, you know, hear some different lyrics, rotate them out, you know. So.
Antonio, do you know the band Modern Life is War, right?
Yeah.
Well, they have a song called, I forget the name of it now. But they have a Dead Ramones. The part of the song, they have a part where they go, it sounds like Suck Your Titties Just Before the Summer.
Oh, yeah.
I've ruined that song for everyone because I told my wife, and then we've told every fan, and now they can't, like, listen to that song without hearing "Suck Your Titties" just before the summer.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's
yeah,
like there was an older Long Island hardcore band called VOD, Vision of
yeah.
Disorder, and they, DTO, and they did like a live demo at a radio station back in the 90s. And the line is white collared people always seem to decide, and they handed out the mic because there was like a small crowd, and and my friend, actually a friend of mine, sang the lyric, and he's and because we always used to say that's what it sounded like. White Castle fries only come in one size. And now, like, anytime they've played after that, like 2 decades later, like that's what everyone in the crowd sings. They do not sing the proper lyric. They sing like White Castle fries only come in one size. Like,
And it all originated from that moment. Huh?
yeah,
Wow.
exactly. It all originated from one person like hearing it that way and deciding to sing it that way
That's
on a
awesome.
demo tape that was only on like cassette that you can like is nowhere digital, but
Yeah.
and it
That's
just
rad.
spread like wildfire. That's
Yeah, it's crazy how you can hear those things and the mind just runs with it.
Yeah,
Very
exactly.
cool. Yeah, I was trying to think of other band ones and things that have just come out through your life, and there was definitely a moment as kids when we were running around singing just pop radio stuff. It was the Flash Dance song, Take Your Passion. And I like, legit as a kid thought it was Take Your Pants Down. And make it happen.
Why not?
What the fuck? I just always take your pants down. I remember like my parents just like really cracking up, and they like had friends over and they're like, sing that Flashdance song. And I'd come out and I was like, take your own pants down. And it was like one of those deals where I'm like, damn, I'm crushing it today. It's like years later, you're kind of like, oh, I guess.
Yeah.
Now I get it.
Yeah, there's always the classic. Creedence Clearwater Revival of "There's a Bathroom on the Right."
Yeah. I mean, they have
Yeah.
that book. Excuse me
Yeah.
while I kiss this guy.
Yeah, that's a website too. Some of the people had looked at. I went back and checked it out too. It didn't have any new ones that we didn't mention or anything too absurd to add to the list. But yeah, there's a what is it? The full thing is just kissthisguy.com or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wrapped up like a douche, another boner in the night.
Yeah.
Well, it is funny, like you were saying though, how like often maybe it's just our immature, dirty minds or what, but
Yeah.
it always does go that way.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Just shows
Doesn't
you.
take- Everybody's just got that little middle school humor sides to you, or just you always hear something dirtier, than it is probably. But I guess that's part of the fun. Another highlight from the last episode was for a night like this, a less dirty one. It says a smile in the shape of your hair instead of shaking your head. I think it's like you go there with Robert, especially in the night like this video kind of thing.
Yeah.
And a smile in the shape of your hair or something. But if you listen to it, it does kind of kick in that way. So that's another one that's stuck with me. But yeah, so good ones in there. A couple repeats in this one where different people sent them in, but they were ones that were mentioned in some form or another. So they'll be our returning characters. We call reoccurring characters, like on a sketch comedy show or something. So and I tried to give everybody credit. A lot of them were from Instagram, mostly on Chaz's. So thank you, Chaz, for reposting that, because people wanted to respond to you, but not me apparently. But
Hey,
it's
hey,
It's all about the algorithms.
little influencer over here. But
yeah, it's my rapist wit.
yeah.
Yeah.
You hook them up with
That's from Dumb and
t-shirts.
Dumber. Sorry, that's not.
Okay, yeah. But so yeah, thank you to everybody in advance that did send in something on whatever outlet or format. And but yeah, what I was gonna say is Instagram. Some of y'all, I don't know your names, but I probably know who you are, so I'll just say your handle name. So apologies if it's Scruffy Muffin 69 or whatever, you know who you are. So but it'll be interesting to see if some of these are modern surprises, because early on, like I said, I think a lot of us were like, oh shit, that's not what he's saying for years, But,
Yeah. I think that's the thing with The Cure is that, like, I was like, all right, I'm going to get prepped for this episode. I'm going to go in and find a lyric that I don't understand. And it took me about 10 seconds to get in. I just hit shuffle and Mint Car came up, and like I'm just like, okay. And then I saw it on here and I'm like, okay, I'm not the only one that didn't hear it. So
yeah, it's funny. Like I think it said it in the last episode where a lot of times you think you know them all. It's like kind of like karaoke style where you start to see the lyrics in front of you, you know, and you're like, oh, okay. Or you're just singing it and then you realize that one line you're kind of jumbling it, you know, and you're like, oh, I wonder what he is saying there. And forever Shake Dog Shake for me was like one where I'm like, what the fuck is he saying in that middle part, you know? And I think I've finally gotten it now. And a lot of times now if you're reading the lyrics, it's like, oh yeah, that totally flows and makes sense. So I think I always think of them when I'm misinterpreting them as gibberish more. You know, I don't have like wrong lyrics. It's more right. So
you just stick something in there that would rhyme with it.
So like if
I can scat too.
Yeah, if I was covering it, I would just scat over that part. You know. So, So very strange, but there's some good ones. And on this one, I was nerdy enough where I put them chronological just for my own being able to look at the list.
Oh my God, you did. You did.
Nerd alert,
Holy shit. Oh my God.
It's more because if I need to backtrack, I know that like something from pornography will be more at the beginning of the list. And, you know, that way I could compare them to the other list and make sure we didn't double up too bad. All right, so let's start at the back of the olden days of Three Imaginary Boys. This one was sort of a variation. We had a lot of people last episode that didn't know what the hell he was saying on that line right before the guitar solo or it stops.
I will add at my first time I ever heard Three Imaginary Boys when I was younger, I thought he was saying three imaginary toys.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that's what.
Yeah.
Three.
It was also, it was also on a cassette on a little shitty, one player.
Yeah, like I said, no
which
shame
probably
here.
adds to it.
This is
If you also think about how we were listening to this stuff back then, without great speakers and not on CD at first.
That was the other big disclaimer is one, it was, a lot of these, if we didn't have the lyrics, which a lot of the tapes and stuff didn't have, but, and also we're kids, you didn't really know some of these phrases, trying to, and, and it's stuff that we might have thought of that for like a year and then we fix it, so no shame here. This is a safe zone on the whole,
judgment free zone.
Yeah, because I was worried that people wouldn't send in many on this one, so I was plugging in they were all coming back to me when I hit that switch. I was like, oh yeah, I massacred ton of these lyrics when I was a kid and stuff, so I was writing them all in, so I have a lot of people. I'm gonna lose a lot of cred is what I'm saying here.
Well, I'm saying you got to admit that you're not the number one Cure fan in the entire universe.
It's true.
Because you don't know every single lyric.
Sorry to let everyone down, but I'm not. Apparently,
sorry.
If I don't know all these lyrics.
That's why I respect everybody that sends stuff in.
Thank you, the brave ones.
The brave. Yeah. God gives the biggest challenges to the bravest Cure fans.
Yes. Very true. So Three Imaginary Boys, the song, that line goes right before the solo. Sweet child, the moon will change your mind. And our first entry was La Moon will tie your mind. Sweet child, la moon will change your I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it how theirs, but I think this one goes back to the idea of a lot of times we hear gibberish in the sense, unless that's like a Nell reference from the movie Nell or something, Taze in the Wind. Something like that, maybe. But that was from Standing on the Beach, Instagram handle. And a lot of them are just a lot of nonsense lines, but La Mu will take your mind.
Well, Robert does that a lot, where he just drops these small little things before a guitar solo or something else, and you're just like the "Fly Me to the Moon" thing.
There's a good. I reserved a little section for the end where there's ones that just aren't in the lyrics, no matter whether you look in the sheet music book or the song words, he just leaves out, a lot of them we've been able to decipher over the years, but there's a few little mystery ones still where he's like, blah, blah, blah. You're like, what?
Yeah. On Disintegration, where he says that one thing, but you have no idea what he says, still don't understand what he says.
I think I have at least a theory on that one. So stay tuned, listeners. Dun, dun, dun. Little teaser. So yeah, we got that one. Up next, Fire in Cairo off of the same album. This one we got from Tanya. It said, "Slide under my hand, solar lips."
Slide under my hand, solar lips.
Swollen lips. But she had solar lips, like solar panels. But I could tell
having
here.
a solar lips eclipse.
Yeah, and it's tough because a lot of these look ridiculous on paper, but if you think of the way he's singing it and stuff too, it's so that one's got a lot of ones too. We had mentioned in the last episode the mirror and mirage. So it's mirage, but I hear a lot of covers where they say mirror by accident. You're getting it wrong.
That's for the real fans.
Yes. But then we got A Forest. So everyone's classic Cure song. So this one, there was quite a few. I had this one actually, and this is kind of a shameful one. For years, I always just heard it as look closer and see, not come closer and see. But I guess that one's not too shameful. But the next one, I had run into what's nothing, which doesn't really make any much sense, but running towards nothing is the actual line.
I mean, it's the same
I'm
thing,
running
right?
towards nothing, but yeah, I had it as running to what's nothing. So it's kind of the same idea, but it's like, okay. So not too shameful. Should I just quit now?
No.
Okay.
You're fired.
Good. Cool. And then we got a write-in from Karen, who said her friend Hugh always heard it as run into a stump end. So like the end of a stump.
And trip and fall.
And then you fall. Yeah. Run into a stump end. So, you can see it?
I love that one. Yeah.
So again, does your mind go dirty with that? Like stump end? Is that like slang for something? Or is it...
Getting fucked in the woods.
Yeah, stump end. I don't know. So we'll see. So that takes us out of 17 seconds into Faith. And Faith, there's quite a few. Let's see, for the song Faith, this might have been our most recent last entry somebody sent in. Craig wrote in, I lose another blanket. When it's really lose another blind game is the real lyric. The idea of perfection holds me right before that, but I lose another blanket.
I think all those of us have been married or in a long-term relationship with someone. I think we all feel that pain.
Lost another blanket.
Yeah. And then that's why my wife and I have separate comforters.
Yeah, just keep them all about.
Yep.
Yeah, and it kind of fits the song too. It's all cold and sad, and you just want a little comfy blanket or something, and you lose your blanket.
Yeah,
that's just
she was cold and took it.
He took my blanket. So, the Drowning Man gets another entry here. So this one, is understandable because there's a lot of reverb going on those vocals where he's just kind of but so it's the water bows, receives her and drowns her manatees like a manatee.
I love it.
Drowns her manatees. Yeah, drowns her at its ease is the correct line, but that was from Deanne. And just picturing manatees floating around in the water below her.
They'll gum you to death.
Yeah.
They don't have any teeth.
The best part was when she emailed this to me, she sent a little video from God knows where. I don't know if she knows it, but it seemed like it was like an actual file of a video somebody took, but they're swimming. and it's a lady swimming, and then people from the boat are like, watch out, kind of like panic. One person's in the water sloshing around, and there's a manatee floating around, and the girl's just fucking flipping out, like going, ah! I don't know if she thought it was a shark or if she just didn't know, but yeah, I mean, I guess it's still a little freaky having a manatee right next to you, but they seem pretty harmless. I think you're all right, but so
I don't understand through evolution how the manatee is still alive.
I've seen a few down in the Keys, and those didn't even really look. The ones that were alive barely looked. They're all been jacked up by boats and shit. They're all floating around like roll, just like a giant potato floating in the water, But, so yeah, so I don't know. I'm glad they're still with us, though. Adorable creatures. Are you guys fans of manatees?
Yeah, I would love to see Robert swim with a manatee.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
I would love to see a manatee with Robert's hair.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go. I feel like I have some for some reason. I don't know. Wasn't that one of Kate's designs or something? We should get her on that. I feel like I've seen that somehow, an image. But
the least offensive, least like harmful sea animal is I love them.
Yeah,
I love them.
pretty cool. Awesome. Let's see. Charlotte, sometimes we got that was one as a kid and into later years where it's like a lot of just kind of reverbed out lines where I didn't quite know what the hell he was saying. I didn't even really officially have false lines, but there were ones where I'm like, oh, that's what he's saying there. But
unless you had the 7-inch or the single or whatever, were the lyrics printed in?
Trying to think back, like the original vinyl, because it was all tapes mostly as a kid. Yeah. So a lot of the tapes didn't, especially those early ones. They didn't have them until like.
What about Standing on a Beach?
That didn't have any lyrics in it.
Yeah, I didn't think so. This one's a little bit more forgivable than everything. Everything else,
and especially because those early albums are the fucking weirdest lyrics too. Yeah. You're like, I feel like Pornography. I had them because I remember looking at the little tiny tape while trying to cover it with Donald.
Yeah, but they were like really, really thin font.
Yeah.
So much like your writing on here, it's very hard to read.
We were young then, at least. I can't see any of this.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of them didn't have lyrics for a long time.
Yeah.
Until you got like that song book. But a lot of times you're not like flipping through the song words while listening to it, even though we all did that, I think, but at the same time, not casually, like every time you're listening to it, you're looking up every line or anything. But, this one probably went for a while. A big one for me was the sheet music book. Like when I finally got those and I had Standing on the Beach and Disintegration, but Disintegration had the words in it. But a lot of them would be while I was at a piano lesson playing like Charlotte sometimes. I'm like, oh, that's what he said.
Yeah.
So I was like focusing on that more than the notes. But this one was from Karen as well. She said, on a beach, I see the sun is gone again, instead of a bleak track. On a bleak track.
I can see that, yeah.
It's,
On that bleak track, see the sun is gone again.
so that's another on a beach, which you would think beach pretty casual Cure lyric. A lot of these your mind kind of just goes the shit he would normally say anyway and stuff. So but
bleak track works too.
Bleak track for sure. So
think about walking down a fucking lonely railroad track.
Yeah.
I think it's more of an American hobo thing than a British thing, but I could be wrong.
Maybe, yeah.
They have the Hogwarts training there. I've heard.
And it's funny too with a lot of these how it's like a completely different word, like beach and bleak, technically, or like not really, but just the way he sings and the way a lot of it is, it's like somehow you'd be like, that's like a completely different phrase, but like somehow. Then I had one of mine that I remembered from the old days was come to me scared, possessed. I thought he was saying, not princess, come to me scared princess is the line, but I thought it was come to me scared and possessed, basically.
I like
how
that.
it fits,
Yeah. Your head spinning and green stuff spitting out of your mouth.
Yeah. So that was the big takeaway too from last episode, Antonio, was that these are all fair game for lyrics here. So I ended up like writing like 3 songs out of the wrong lyrics,
That's great.
So keep your ears peeled. There's some good shit in here for songs.
Now I got to dive down the Gavin Conner playlist.
Scrounging up misinterpreted Robert lyrics make for great ones. Right after that, somebody had misinterpreted "shut." Sometimes they said was "shut up." Sometimes I thought it was. I was like, that's
Shut
fucking
up
genius. And I actually
sometimes.
wrote a whole song where the chorus is "shut up, shut up, shut up." Sometimes. Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. Sometimes. Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up sometimes. The time I wasted in any case will shatter my glassy mind. So shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up sometimes. But yeah, it's good stuff. Figurehead comes up next from
This is my favorite one.
House of Dis on Instagram. Figurehead said, "I will never be queen again."
I'll never be queen again.
Which would be awesome.
But we all know how
shouting.
Robert feels about royalty, too.
Yeah. Screaming, he will never be queen again. After a few drinks, it probably sounded a lot like that on that pornography tour, I'm sure.
And then I'm just
queen again.
I'm also just picturing a meme where he's singing that, and in the background, Freddie Mercury's like,
Yeah.
Just put a giant mustache on Robert.
yeah.
Man, wow. So many ironic t-shirt ideas, too.
Yeah. It'll be like an Andy Warhol. Like it'll be like Robert's hair and like head on Freddie's body with the mustache and that like yellow outfit. You know,
7 different things going on. I was like,
Yeah.
wow, what is with this shirt? Love that. So yeah, surprisingly, that was the only one from pornography this time. So I think those are ones too on that album where you either just hear it or you just never got it or don't know what the hell he's getting at. So,
Who cares?
yeah,
Like
that was a good one. Worthy of re-mentioning again on from 100 Years. Let me pull that one up. It was a bitch in the back of a black car. Instead of ambition, it was what was it?
You just got a bitch
I'm a bitch in the back of a black car. That's pretty good.
The great one.
that's a good goth lyric.
Let's see. Then we have Love Cats. This was one I just got fairly recently. I never caught that he was saying solid gone at the end. I always thought it was solid gold. Solid gold.
I always thought it was solid gold because that makes a little bit more sense.
Yes, because I'd had that jotted down as like my big revelation when I was like, holy shit, it's solid. Because I was looking up something else and then saw that one at the end and I was like, holy shit, he's saying solid gone. And Tanya actually wrote in too. So me and Tanya were misinterpreting that one. And then she had caught too. I'd either blanked on it or totally forgotten on the bonus disc of Head on the Door. There's an outtake, like just kind of jazzy jam. That's why I hadn't listened to it very much, but it was just like them dorking around, kind of jazzying it up. And it's called, it's all the words are together, but man's solid gone, but they're all connected, so it looks all weird. But yeah, apparently that's like a kind of jazzy slang saying solid gone, like I'm out of here. Man's gone or something, yeah. So
that's what the kids are saying today.
Yeah, so I want to bring that one back. I want to be like, I'm solid gone. I'm out of here. So
it's an Irish goodbye.
Yeah,
Yeah.
slowly gone. But yeah, that was surprising. I was like, oop. I had to sit Henson down. It's like, there's something very important I have to tell you. We've been singing the words "The Love Cat's" wrong your whole life. So yeah, a couple ones from Love Cats. I think here's another a return one. This was one that people had mentioned in various forms. There was like 6 different forms in the last episode, and Mars Attack 666 wrote this one in.
Hell yeah!
And, it says, I wanna flee, wanna flee, wanna flee pretty.
Wanna flee, wanna flee, wanna flee, wanna flee pretty.
I can hear that.
Yeah, it makes sense, you know, like the fleas. Let's see, I'd had like one flea pity. I thought it was as a kid until I got the sheet music book. I always thought it was one flea pity. I didn't think he was saying pretty for.
Cats have fleas, so
it's a pity.
you know.
Yeah,
That's true.
But there was I looked back on the last episode. There was a lot of variations of the pretty and pity and fleas and wonderfully and 1 2 3 1 2 3. Somebody thought it was something like that. Some of them. So lots of weird variation on that. Going into the walk, it said. This was, I just put that down because I've heard over the years people kind of catching this one. I kissed you in the water and made your dry lips sink, is what a lot of people say, but it's sing.
Thing.
Made your dry lips sing.
And then I even looked it up. I was like, maybe it's when they alternate like face and faith on Close to Me, you know, like some of them. You kind of had to double check because I've sung that wrong for sure. But it's make your dry lips sing, if anybody wants to correct themselves out there. I feel like I'm grading
now.
papers for kids again now, so go ahead and mark that wrong and beware out there, listeners, too. Like, I feel like the song words match the lyric liner notes, so those are both like very official. But if you type them in, there's some wrong shit just on like songlyrics.com and shit.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
online.
yeah,
There's
sure.
like, I'm sure it's like Wikipedia or any of those where it's like people just fucking with it. But there's a lot of wrong
that's
ones
like a
on
lot of those like even like chord websites when you're like looking up how to play
yeah.
a song,
Yeah.
and it's like you're like, oh, that's not correct whatsoever.
even-
but
yeah.
you know that people take it as
It's
know
gospel because it's on the
factual,
internet.
Yeah,
So
it's on
big
the internet, it
revelation.
must be
The
true.
internet is wrong. People out there. I know this may come as a shock.
On
to some
occasion,
people. You
the
might-
interwebs can be incorrect. The
It might be
AI has
wrong,
not
so-
completely taken over yet.
Yeah. But yeah, that was the best guitar teacher for me, was you'd look up a song and get all excited that they had the chords there, and you're like, that's totally wrong. And then but it got the ball rolling, then you could figure it out from where this person totally butchered it, you know, or something.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, cool. Okay. I can tell that's not the right chord, so it's definitely not that chord. So a lot of those lyrics. Where were we? Let's see. Let's go to bed. We had Make Your Job Sing. Oh, these are kind of a couple goofy ones I remember from when I was a real kid. So no shame for sure on these, hopefully. But I had You Can't Because You're Senile. Not You can't even see now. But I had You Can't Because You See Now. So you asked me the way.
Hey,
Well,
it works.
Yeah, it works. And then this one was even better. This was, it used to be the dust that would lay here when I came here with woe.
It used to be the dust I would lay here when I came here alone.
Big spoon in that holding role.
I
Robert,
was like,
definitely.
is he shouting out low in that song? So, yeah, it used to be the dust. that
Not
would lay
after that cover.
Yeah, so we had a little pre-discussion there. We'll save that for the Patreon or something. But people that went to Cruel World
World.
Fest. This is
You
let us
guys
know.
got blessed.
Let us know. We won't.
I know. I was
further,
supposed
but,
to go to that too.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I thought you
just
said
for
you
that.
were-
Yeah, I was gonna go, but now we have our trip to Italy coming up this week, so I was like, Italy
like a fair
or
trade.
Cruel World. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
like,
Upstairs Room has a lot of weird ones. I remembered as a kid. I thought it was all Harlequin slow, like a Harlequin,
like Harley Quinn
romance
from
novel.
Batman.
Like Harley Quinn.
Yeah, like a Harlequin love novel, like the little romance books or whatever. But it's all alcoholic and slow, which is a really cool line too. But so yeah, that was one of those. All right. Lament. Lament.
I was gonna do Lament.
Yeah,
but I was just like, it's not like a main track, so like,
yeah,
I mean, I could do B-sides all day with like, I'm sure
a lot
there's
of them. I think that's kind of where we're going
Like
with
Too
these
Late?
now. Do you remember which line it was that was totally surprising or
I
off
don't
for you?
even remember. I started listening to it at work, and I'm like, oh man, like this is. There's a couple in here. I'm just like, yeah, this isn't right. The Vanilla Smile one, definitely.
Yeah.
I don't hear that at all, but.
Vanilla Smile, and then the ice cream bodies and stuff. So that's both of these actually, because it's like ones that are pretty burned in my head now. But I remember being really shocked at a younger age. I'm going, fucking Vanilla Smile, what? So that was the first one of mine. I had waving. I thought it was waving. We're the last one in a smile. Which doesn't really make much sense. But if you're in a smile, I guess you're wearing a smile. But the line is waving with the last vanilla smile.
Yeah. Sure.
It's only almost weirder based on the next interpretation. This one was also sent in by Karen, and I had it. It says the river flowed, and we thought it was the river flowed. I guess the real one will make more sense. River flowed one more ice cream body. We thought it was the river flowed I screamed body. Like body, like you said.
Yeah,
body,
which makes a lot more sense. Yeah.
But I mean, I kind of like the ice cream body when you think about it too, like you're dead, like bright, like a white body, like a ice cream body. That's how, or cold, like a cold dead body. So, but yeah, ice cream body makes probably more sense, really.
There was a Christian punk band called One Bad Pig, and they had an album called Ice Cream Sunday, and it was supposed to be like Ice Cream Sunday, but they say I Scream Sunday. So
and then there's the whole you scream, I scream.
Yeah, I could get the misinterpretation there, but like I took it as I scream body, like I see somebody floating in the river, and like you, that's what you yell.
Yeah, that's what we were saying. Like, you scream, body! Look, there's a body in the fucking river. Not ice cream. How could you eat at a time like this, Robert?
Yeah, I think I was just picturing River's Edge, where like they go down and look at a dead body.
Yeah, like, for sure. Moving on to everyone's favorite album, The Top.
Oh God!
I'm sorry, everybody.
Yeah, sorry, I have an opinion.
Just everybody, calm down here. We're gonna talk
You
about The Top
have
real
a
quick.
butthole?
We're gonna move real fast, and we'll move on to the next one here.
This will be a Band-Aid.
Yeah, it's our two favorite songs from The Top, though, so I think we're safe here. We got one for Shake Dog Shake and Caterpillar. This is another one of mine. Like I said, a lot of Shake Dog Shake didn't make much sense to me as a youngster. But I always thought he was saying, cut someone, scrape my skin with razor blades. But it's actually cough some more, scrape my skin with razor blades. I always thought it was cut someone, like cut him. Cut that bitch.
On the wall, cut someone and scrape my skin with razor blades.
I don't fault anyone for getting lyrics wrong in Shake Dog Shake.
Yeah, am I not alone then? There's some
that
rambly stuff going on in that one.
Shambly rambly.
Yeah.
Well, I definitely like the lyric "cut someone, scrape my skin with razor blades" more, just because it feels like it fits the song.
And
a little bit more.
coughing.
Yeah.
He's just like, excuse me.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, there's some
unless he's
weird...
talking about like coughing up
like blood
and like like cutting your skin in your throat.
Yeah, which he probably is.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was some weird lines. The "Hold You Cherished in the Dead Electric Light." That was one that took me forever to figure out what the fuck he was saying there. Stale and selfish as a sick dog, spurning sex like an animal of God. I don't know if I got the God part, like it was animal of God. Like again, I just felt like a moaning instead. But so yeah, some cool lines though, man. That's a good.
Yeah, it's a good. I mean, it's a great song.
Yeah. It's like ones where you're like, oh yeah, that is awesome. So.
Why couldn't have been a whole rock album like
I
this?
I shouldn't be surprised, but yeah, it's just Caterpillar had a lot of them too in the last episode, and this was sort of like the Love Cats one, a recurring variations. Everybody had some different version of the "I Dust My Lemon Lies" with Powder Pink and Sweet, but Nicole sent in "I Dust My Lemon Limes."
Hell yeah.
Pinks. I think a lot of people were with the lemon lime flavor.
I love that.
I dust my lemon lime with powder pink and sweet.
Someone needs to use that in a soda commercial.
Yeah, dust my lemon limes, now available in lemon lime.
Yeah, exactly.
Sprite.
Powder Pink and sweet. Yeah.
Robert Smith's favorite soft drink.
Sponsored by The Cure. It's like, what? Monster Energy?
But like, couldn't we not decipher like the first line of that song?
The
Like-
flicka.
Yeah, like everybody was just like, "What the fuck is that?"
Yeah. I remember always, thinking it was flicker. But then you
flicker,
see the
flicker.
flicka, which is just a variation of flicker, I guess. But it's the flicka,
I guess
flicka. So, but yeah, who knows?
When you say flicker, I just think you're just doing gibberish. But like if you say flicker, I'm just like, which makes more sense to the song. But I guess that's what he's saying. But
yeah. So Throw Your Foot, like you said, the B-sides are almost a little too easy because, you're like, what the fuck? If you're really digging in here.
Yeah, especially some of the like demo-y B-sides when it's like shitty recording on top of the fact that it's you're like, wait.
Yeah.
Or the ones that were very casually recorded. You could tell, like, Throw My Foot here or New Day or something where he's like, whoa. He's just gonna, he's just
trying to find a melody.
making shit up right on the spot.
Just trying to clear my throat.
Yeah.
Well, like Too Late is just a mumble fest.
Yeah.
Even though it's an amazing song, but like I'm sure I was going to do that, but I'm like, we'll be here all day.
Yeah, we touched on that one, some parts of that, and I had that as an end list of like ones we kind of got to the bottom of, and I've sort of sorted out in my head just because I've covered that, like that in a few hours after this. I eventually had to just sit down and pick them apart. But both those songs as a kid, I was like, what? When I finally read the lyrics, like, turn your hat pushed straight. Like, what the fuck? The look before I go is the, I was like, what? But those are good ones for people to go back and look at. Too Late. That one, Harold and Joe, was one that somebody had sent in, like not even a comment on the last episode, but he was just like, oh, what the fuck you saying on this? Look at it. And we pulled it up because that is a weird one too that doesn't have the lyrics on anything. It's Too Late for the Song Words book, and it's not on any, like album that would have pull out lyrics or anything. So you kind of under the mercy of the internet for that. But I think we looked up even on like maybe the official Cure page. At one point they were listing all the lyrics out, and that one's got some fucking crazy lines in it. Like, just like, what? So, but I don't think I put any on this one. So just a fun side activity for anybody out there. Look up the words of Harold and Joe. You'll definitely be surprised by some of that, I think. So let's get back to the list. Let's see. Oh, yeah. Throw Your Foot. Two parts of this one I had wrong, so this was just me, I guess. The real line is funny how your face gets bigger in this atmosphere. I always thought it was, if only how your face gets bigger really sets him still. I thought he said, if only your face gets bigger really sets him still. That's what I thought he was saying, but it's bigger in this atmosphere. I don't even know the next line too. I should have wrote that down. So I don't know. You guys have any theories on that one, or
Nope,
Not
not a one.
Yeah.
fucking lunatic? It's funny when you start rambling these out. You're like, I sound really crazy right now. I sound really crazy.
Well, no, it's just one of those songs that like I didn't even look up the lyrics for,
Yeah,
and I just usually just if I listen to it, like I'll sing along to whatever I think it is.
Yeah,
And then it's just like
exactly. It's different lyrics every time. It's great. It never gets old. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's a secret. In a lot of these songs, they don't get old because you hear different fucking lyrics every time. Oh yeah, probably my biggest shameful one. So you can shame me for this one. I put in here as a kid. I got over it pretty early, but in between days, for some reason, I always had it stuck in my head, and sometimes it'll slip in there if I'm playing it, where it says, "Yesterday away from you, it throws me deep inside." I just always heard "throws" somehow, which doesn't really make sense, but obviously it's
I'm gonna
"froze
throw me
deep
deep inside.
Yeah, I don't know what that means.
Stay away from you, it throws me deep inside. Come back.
Bros. Like if you get the British accent,
Yeah,
I could see both.
So, another big one on this one was "Hot, Hot, Hot," and this one was kind of funny because this had we had mentioned it in the last episode of that beginning part. That's another one of those mid-car disintegration type ones. It's not in the actual lyrics anywhere, where he starts off with a little. We never could figure out what the hell he was saying, and on that one, even we were just pondering it, and you had actually come close. Chaz had deciphered it as, let's see, would you have "She might bite a face"?
He might bite a face.
And then when we were doing the Paris episode, Antonio and I, for the new version, I had heard some things that weren't confirmed throughout the years over it, and it's pretty confirmed in the Curipedia now too. But that he was referencing that song from the French singer that I only know it as Elvis Costello covered it, "She," and it's the first line is "She may be the face of Gavin," and all that, and so that's what he's singing is the first line of that, but he cuts it off, and he does it more pronounced on the live version, the new version on Paris, there the reissue. So we could finally all put that to bed at least, but it's "She may be the face." It's hard to tell where he twist off on it with the on his version, but
Depends how much orange juice and red wine he had.
Yeah. But it's nice to finally lay that one to rest after all these years of like, what the fuck is he saying? Oh, wait, there was other one from "Hot, Hot, Hot." That one I had as the whole dancing, screaming, itching is the real one. Dancing, screaming, itching, squealing, fever, feeling, hot, hot, hot. Which doesn't sound that crazy when you say it real slow like that, but he does it real fast. I always thought it was dancing, screaming, ancient, squealing, fever, feeling. I heard ancient instead of itching, but again, maybe that was my own crazy.
You're hitting it so good that the ancestors are singing.
Yeah. Like ancient fever, fever. Did you guys always have that one pretty right on? Dancing, screaming, itching,
squealing.
feeling.
Yeah.
Hot, hot, hot. Yeah. That's a little precursor to some doing unstuck on that, though.
If anything, I took squeaking instead of squealing.
Squeaking, yeah.
Yeah,
Dancing,
but like squealing,
screaming, itchy, squeaking, fever, feeling. Yeah, I could see that. Why can't I be you? Let's see. This was... yeah, this was another just weird one. I'm sorry I put so many of mine in here, but I was just like, fuck it, let's do this. It's like therapy for me now. I'm like, I have to admit, this has just been a weird one that I always had right for years and am right technically on, where it's like "Kiss you from your feet to where your head begins." But I can swear in later years when you're listening, pull up a from the last tour anywhere, he's even like grabbed his hair at a few shows. He says, "So from where your hair begins."
Kiss you from your feet where your head begins.
Which doesn't make as much sense either, but I could swear.
Because if she's got really long hair.
Yeah, kiss her from where her
Yeah.
hair begins. I guess the top of your head, maybe, but I don't get it. But I listen to
But
it.
is that
Just
where your
let me
hair
know.
ends or where your hair begins?
True.
Oh yeah, I guess
maybe-
it begins on the top of your scalp and grows.
It's
out.
like oozing out of the top of your head.
True.
Yeah,
So,
it's also a very creepy thing if you think.
Yeah, it really is.
we're answering all the
Let's
tough
not think about
questions
that.
here. Where does hair really begin and end? I don't know.
Do we have any biologists in the crowd?
Actually, we brought in a specialist, our guest. Welcome to the show.
Does this straw have one hole or two holes?
Yeah, what the hell? So, but listen to it. Tell me if I'm totally crazy next time you hear it. If you
No,
sing
I
it.
think you're 100% right. Like
Yeah, you are correct there.
but like I could take it either way.
Yeah.
I'd probably sing it either way, depending on how I feel.
It was enough for me to be like, "Am I been thinking it's wrong this whole time? Like, it's totally where your head begins." And I looked it up, and I was like, "Of course, I'm right. I knew his head." Didn't doubt myself for a minute. Another return one from last time. This time was from John, and he sent in one for "All I Want." And this is one that's kind of one of the classic which is he saying kind of thing until you look at the lyrics of Kiss Me, but for all I want is to hold you like a dog or a doll. It's dog, actually. So it's one you'd think is getting wrong, but it is a dog. And he had also put it down, all I want is to treat you like a dog, which definitely takes it to a whole nother level, too. So,
Oh yeah, I can dissect that one.
and he says, yeah, assuming he means like pampered like a small little dog
Oh,
that a woman
no.
keeps in a handbook. So, just clearing his name there. He wants to make sure.
Hold you like a dog.
And that was the one, like we had pulled the quote last time when Robert says, yeah, it did start out being doll, Robert said, but somewhere along the line it did change into hold you like a dog.
Yeah.
And then he joked, he was like, you don't get any more sexist than that, do you? So, so I guess he was going there with us, but unless he
is hitting it. He is getting it.
Yeah. And then Simon goes, what's wrong with being sexy? For 1,000 hours, I had another shameful one, and then I got joined by Tom, at least. So Tom backed me up for a misinterpreted lyric for 1,000 hours. This song that I've been gushing about for years was all sad that I didn't get to hear on the tour. But Tom said, oh, yeah, this is kind of a funny one. Frozen arse just thrown away.
That's a frozen arse.
Frozen 1,000 hours, just those frozen arse just thrown away.
I love that.
So that one you need the accent for sure. But yeah, just throw that frozen arse away. And I always thought it was 1,000 wasted 1,000 days, like you were saying 1,000 twice, but it's 1,000 wasted hours a day, which makes more sense because it's 1,000 hours. But for some reason, I caught myself when I'm just singing along to it. I always say 1,000 wasted 1,000 days. So like just like you're piling them up, you know.
Thousand wasted days just to fill my
Yeah, I think that's just one of those things you hear and it sticks. It reassured
And
me
then
of
so
my
you
whole.
sing it that way from now on because now you can't get frozen arse out of your head.
Yeah,
so.
and that's what I was gonna say. Like even just when I'm singing it, I know it's wrong, but I still sing it wrong. It's like no how many times I try to correct myself. Which was funny though, in reference to that, there was I don't remember where the fuck I saw it, but it was a clip of Robert talking to Bowie right before they did that birthday party thing where he, played and sang a few of the Bowie songs with him, and Robert was like saying, I'm nervous because I'm afraid I'm going to sing the words I learned as a kid and not the right words. And I was like, yeah, I totally know what he's
That's
getting
great.
at. So,
That's awesome.
so we're not
See,
alone.
Yeah,
even
he's
he-
not too cool for school.
Nah.
He can definitely admit that he's, he knows what's
grew
going
up
on.
with the wrong words too. So yeah, just like Heaven, the most sacred of all Cure songs can even get misinterpreted. Last time we had some stupid ones like "You Who Rice-A-Roni," but he's not saying that. But
San
this one's pretty
Francisco
legit. Yeah, this came from Rachel, and she thought it was Ruby Lips to breathe her name. I opened up my eyes.
It works.
Those moving lips. Yeah, so Ruby Lips. Totally could see that. I remember the twisting in the water really early on. I never quite caught what he was saying. I don't know if I had something else, but it was a twisting in the water. I was like trying to. I just was saying some gibberish, I think, instead of twisting in the water. So, but yeah,
You
so
mush mouthed it. That's okay.
mush mouthed it. Yeah. Love song. This was one Chrissy sent in from the excommunication station, and she referenced one of the uncredited lines in the song, as we've talked about. There's a few of those. It's the "Fly Me to the Moon" line.
Yeah.
But she's saying "Fly me to Rangoon."
Yo,
I
I would
get.
totally fly in some crab ragoon right
No
now.
shit. Yeah, I'll tear those things up.
Yeah,
So I'm on board with that. Getting hungry.
Or it
just
could be
saying it.
Cancun.
Yeah, Cancun too. Cancun. So, but yeah, that was one. Like a lot of these, and I guess like the hot one, the unwritten lines get cleared up on many live versions. You know, like when he starts, even the what is it in Lullaby, the "Come Into My Parlor." It's a really quiet on the album. I think.
Yeah.
You could make it out for sure, but it's not in the lyrics. I don't believe they have it printed in there. But like, you know, he built it out when he's singing it, so there's pretty much no mistaking what the hell he's saying there. But same with the "Fly Me to the Moon," I think.
I think that's one where I had to look it up online and I had to see what other people had put down.
Yeah.
And like the consensus was X, Y, and Z. And like you're just like, okay.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear it. So
Close down. This was one I had to. You still sleep away from me. I thought he was saying for years, and it's uselessly always the need. But I had, and you still sleep away from me. Which,
And uselessly always.
I'm gonna admit right now, Gavin, that's what I always thought it was.
yeah, all right. Thank you. Even if you're just throwing me a bone here.
No, because that song, like I love that line.
Yeah, it's a good
Because, like,
line. So that's
useless
how
always the
I totally thought uselessly always the need. Is the
Oh
line.
man,
So, yeah. And so,
blowing my mind.
but yeah.
It's one of those songs where like, oh, I don't need to look up the lyrics because I know them.
Yeah,
and,
yeah. I think
And
that's-
like that makes so much sense. Like going
lot
into
of-
the song, and now it doesn't. So
it's like the wider
Yeah.
instead of whiter on pictures of you. Or I was just like, I don't need to know the words of pictures of you. Come on, what do you think?
Yeah.
yeah.
I was like, son of a bitch, he's saying wider there instead of whiter. Never know. But very strange. Babel is another good B-side that, you know, you could probably pick
yeah,
a billion of these. Let's see. This one we got. Oh, I just put it down. This one came up in the animals episode we did with Kate in reference to animals, where she sent that one in, and I was all like, "Whoa, that's what he's saying there!" Like until that moment, I never. It's babble out in simile. Like doghead monkey music me. Shut up. Shut up.
yeah.
So that's the actual real line is babble out in simile like doghead monkey music me. Shut up. I thought it was something like babble out in simile like God have mercy me. Shut up. I think I heard it some kind of mercy me.
Yeah.
Out in simile like doghead monkey music. We shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up, and let me breathe.
Man, doghead monkey music me. Genius. Jesus.
Tense.
Started to question the validity of this whole podcast. I was like, why are we praising this guy? I don't know. What is this bullshit? Needs to get Lowell back in there and write some good lyrics. Just kidding. Return one for Lullaby. Softer Than Shadows. Curlier Than Fries. This is one of my favorites from last time. So not only Softer Than Shadows, but Curlier Than Fries. So that one's from Mild Mood Swings. Loves those Arby's curly fries.
I love me some curly fries.
Yeah. Got some crab ragoon and some curly fries.
I was getting hungry now. Should have eaten a proper breakfast before this. The song Disintegration, we had a lot that we sorted out last time with Chaz on that one, so we won't harp on Disintegration too much, but this one got sent in from Listens Like Our Heads on Fire. And it's hell yes, always, yes, on the end of how the end always is. And it seems ridiculous written on paper, but when you do listen to it, they're hell yes, like how the end always
Yeah, I get it.
is,
Yeah.
always yes, hell yes, always. I just like the idea of Robert shouting,
Hell yeah, brother!
Yeah.
Can I get a hell yeah? Hell yeah, brother!
Get this like beautifully written song the whole way through, and by the last minute or so, he's just shouting, hell yes! So, very cool. Thanks for sending that one in. High, again, had we had quite a few from High on the licky lips and stuff and
Yeah.
all that last time. This one we have High, When I See You, Happy as a Goat. Sent in from Ashley, Nicholas's wife. It said that she'd always heard, when I see you, happy as a goat.
Yeah, I used to hear that one too.
Yeah, you hear that little goat in there?
And then I also used to have I always used to think it was I can't get that far instead of lick, because I was
can't
like,
get that. Yeah, I was
You
with
know.
that too. The licking stuff I never picked up.
yeah.
And then you realize it's like every other word. You're like, oh wow, he's licking all over this stuff.
Yeah, I was like,
Awesome. And that's the next line from Rachel. Said in, when I see you sticky as lips, as licky as chips, I can't lick that far. She thought he was licking chips off his lips or something. So, potato chips, but it's licky as lips.
lickety
So,
split.
yeah. So,
And where, like, you can't lick that far. What? Like, what are we doing here?
This
I
is
can't
where
lick
it
that
went off the
far.
tracks last episode. We're like, what is he licking all over anyway? What's going on here?
Are you trying to lick the uterus, or like what are we doing?
Jeez, Robert. Friday I'm in Love. This was another one that a lot of people had variations on. This Shirley sent this one in, and Donald and I both for years thought he was saying sleek as a chic. Like a chic of
the Iron Sheik?
like the Iron Sheik, Arabic.
I mean, he was pretty greasy, like when he got in the ring and everything.
that is
so
true. That mustache
I thought
had a
it
lot
was
of grease on it.
Sleek as a chic spinning round and round, but it's sleek as a shriek spinning around and round. And I think it got further cemented with the video, because there's all the characters wandering around. There is like a dude with a turban that walks by at one point.
it would have been
So
great if the
it's-
Iron Sheik was in that video.
Yeah, just body slamming somebody. But so yeah, no sheiks in there, just shrieks. And but yeah, there's a lot of variations on that on the internet and in our last episode. Burn was one. This was a new one that was cool. Transylvania 6_5000 said scream the annual scream instead of animal scream on Burn.
Every night I
cool because it does still kind of make sense because it's like the year, right? It's like a year to Halloween when he comes back in the crow and shit. So it makes sense. Scream, the annual scream. So
I got an annual scream here.
Annual scream. There you go.
The
And a new song
I have
for you.
Who knows?
I got one here from Wendy time actually.
Okay, cool.
Oh no, the song
Before we
I
get
always
out of
skip.
Wish era.
Let's go.
Yeah.
If the top was one song, let's do it.
I was thought you stare at my feet all strange. She said, like, you have a foot fetish, bro.
All strange. Yeah, my feet all strange.
Yeah, I was like, it's like stop
Like
staring at my
Quentin.
feet.
She's like, quit staring at my feet, Robert.
Yeah,
He's like, what?
I like
Let me
your
see that
toes.
pinky toe.
These little piggies in a mirror.
Ah, that's what that song's about. Want. I got one for that. I always thought when he's saying, let's see, I thought it was, I want lightning and thunder. I want to burn this cigarette, which I knew didn't make sense because he is not a big smoker, but it kind of makes, like this whole debaucherous
Cool lyric.
Yeah, I want to burn this cigarette. Doesn't sound anything like burn that cigarette or burn his but somehow both work, I guess. And, so just a weird one when you're listening to Want. Did you guys catch that as I want fire instead of rain? Fire instead of
I
rain.
didn't get burned this cigarette.
Yeah,
Yeah, definitely didn't hear a cigarette, but not showing that fire instead of rain because he says it really weird. It's like fire instead of rain. The 13th definitely has some weird ones in there too. Let's see who sent this in. Am I Right? Oh, this is from amiright.com. That's another website. This is one of the few ones that I snagged off of there because I thought it was a pretty good one. They had a buzzing like tequila bees instead of killer bees, which is probably the coolest line in the song, but it's like them killer bees. But I like tequila bees too, so I don't know.
Buzzing like them killer bees. Tell me this is not.
I like the idea of drunk bees
Oh yeah, I love that.
more than killer bees.
But it's got that good tequila vibe to that whole song anyway.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Tequila bees. So I don't
I'll
know.
leave as tequila bees if I ever want to listen to the
Tequila
13th.
So, yeah, Strange Attraction. I laughed inside the kitchen at her favorite phrase.
I laughed in recognition of the favorite phrase. She pulled me in, I answered her.
Max Scarf wrote in. So I laughed in recognition of her favorite phrase. So I could hear that.
I thought it was
laughed
that.
inside the
I thought it was kitchen also.
kitchen too. Yeah.
Oh, that's I could either work. I mean, both lyrically, both of them, I guess, kind of work if you're, but both of them work like if you hear it too. So
Yeah, you'd be totally fine with either of those. I think I heard recognition, but I could totally see kitchen for sure. If you're singing that along, it fits in perfectly. Mick Carr, I have the mystery line here, an interpretation of the mystery lines. TV_Sun wrote in, sinking like harpoons in a womb.
Yeah, sinking shotguns in a
Which almost makes as much sense as what I think he's really saying there, but sinking like harpoons in a womb. So
I had something and I don't remember what it was. I gotta listen to the part of that song really quick. I gotta find it real quick.
Sinking like harpoons in a womb. I always heard the word crimson in it somehow, but it's like nowhere near crimson a moon. But along those lines, I'd taken a screenshot and saved it ages ago, and so I was trying to backtrack what the hell this was exactly because it was fairly creditable and actually has, I believe, an actual Robert quote attached to it. So I came up with this. I believe it was a guy re-looking at it that had interviewed Robert as like a contest winner that we talked to early. We didn't talk to him, but I was corresponding with him early on in the podcast, and he said that he got to do an interview, and it was a pretty cool interview. I think I was talking about it on the show, and he's like, yeah, that was me. I won a contest, and we did this, and those parts that got edited out, they trimmed it down and stuff. But one of the questions he asked him was, what the fuck is he saying on Mick Carr? And here's the quote. He said he forgets what it was exactly, but then he actually emailed back to the dude and says, it's slinky as raccoons in the roof. So slinky as raccoons in the roof. So yeah, then Robert elaborated. I guess this is all a Robert quote to him. It wasn't in caps, but that could have been just the guy, translating it. But so I was like, wait a minute, that's not a real Robert quote. It's not all in caps. But it says it refers to the documentary Grey Gardens. You know that film? There's a raccoon in the roof. And there's this particular sound that they ... I think I may have been under the influence of something when I first watched it. I thought, what was that sound? And the voice on the film says, there's raccoons in the roof. And I thought I was being answered by the TV. I thought, that's fucking clever. How did that happen? And it just became a thing because I was sitting with a couple of people, and they're like, oh my God, he's actually thought they answered you, didn't they? And I thought, yeah, I better go home now. So it just became a thing. So Grey Gardens, he's watching it, and he's a little inebriated, and he's like, what's that sound? And then in the film, they actually answer it that it's raccoons in the roof. So that's where he gets the slinky as raccoons in the roof. So mystery solved. Or is it? How creditable is this? Not quite sure because I can't cite it. But don't question genius.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So we'll lay that one to rest too with the hot. So now Slinky as raccoons in the roof is canon, as they say. So from there, pages up. Wrong number. This was sent in by Stone White Clown. They said the line is, I had the best laid plans this side of America. Started off with George and finished with Angelica.
I had the best laid plans this side of America. Started on a George and finished with Angelica. Red and blue soul with a snow white smoke.
And the actual line is actually not that far off from that. It started off in church and finished with Angelica. So mixing up George with church.
God damn it, George.
But actually, the
I thought it was
Angelica is what he's
like
saying.
I could see that, like if you're saying like started off with George Washington, like inside of
Yeah.
America, and
Yeah.
finished with Angelica.
That's what I thought it was. Yeah, and then I was like, well, what's the Angelica? I heard it as Angelica, but then I always interpreted it as started off. I heard church, so I always had it started off in church and finished with angelical, like evangelical. Like I thought he was like just kind of smudging the first part of the Eve part and
I've been saved.
Yeah, because he's talking about church and shit. So I figured maybe
This is the wrong podcast. Wrong podcast.
sorry.
Yeah. It's like, uh-oh, don't get him started. Here
Yeah,
he
I was
goes.
like, we can go down that route, but it's gonna get hairy.
We're gonna need more time. We can just merge them together here. We got the next episode. Bring in Chrissy and Tom.
A mega crossover episode.
Totally.
The unholy
yeah,
hour.
So I guess if anybody knows the Angelica reference, because I guess but paired with church, it doesn't make much sense. But yeah, if it was started off with George and ended with Angelica, maybe that was something more modern. Like in a U.S. reference thing.
Call somebody Angel and just change it to Angelica to make it work.
Yeah.
Into America. It's a good rhyme scheme, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of it is just the cadence and the rhyme and just go with it. It sounds cool. So, and our most recent one and final official entry is from Chris. And it's from Us or Them. And he had it as, I don't want your, not us or them, but I don't want your arsehole there. So we're back to the arses again, but I don't want your arsehole there. So a lot of that could be when he starts shouting it at the end.
Yeah.
I don't need your soul there.
kind of makes sense. I don't know.
I don't
Might
want to
even
either,
help this-
actually. 'cause-
And yeah, again, we're kind of neglecting the self-titled in 413. I'm sure there's a billion lines in those that I'm not thinking they're the right line, but
I have one that is just like a very simple word that got misconfused, but the imagery of the line is what I always made me laugh. Is in Fascination Street. Instead of
Yeah.
pull on your hair, pull on your feet, I used to think it was put on your hair. And then I'm just thinking of like the Legos, like clicking the hair on like on a Lego figure, or like clicking feet on it. Like, you know what I mean?
Putting yourself together. Yeah.
It just used,
yeah, there's a lot of
it
weird
used to
ones
make
in
me
that,
chuckle,
like
like, oh yeah, I'm putting on my hair. Like
Yeah.
just
I thought that too, like because we talk about our session with that song, and I thought that what it was too for the longest time, and like I just always pictured The Simpsons where Homer shoots Marge with the makeup gun, and like I'm just like put on your hair, put on your face, and I'm just like I'm just like that's how you do it. If you got the Lego thing, I got this one. So
I just take that as like a kind of a metaphor for getting ready, going out, put on your hair, put on your face, kind of thing. So yeah, it makes total sense. We had a weird one from Fascination Street last time. Was the choir boy goes in, haunted killer comes out.
Yeah.
Like, whoa, what?
choir boy.
That was one
I
just
forgot
taken
about
from the
that one.
internet. I think I tried to use that in multiple songs, and I was like, "That's fucking dark." Well, I don't know what's going on exactly. But choir boy goes in, a haunted killer comes out.
Oh, we could go into that one, Gavin, if you want to.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Getting you all warmed up for your next episode. But as we merge into more of those unscripted lines, I think we hit them all. Fly Me to the Moon. Oh, the disintegration one. So this one I'd taken a screenshot of from somewhere, but then being the really thorough journalist that I am, I didn't like cite where the fuck I got this, so I don't know how credible it is. It looks like it's just some dude off of a Facebook group maybe or something. So unfortunately I might have had the key, but I can't. It was from, that was the other thing. But I did take the screenshot, but I saw who was putting in it, and the handle name was Fake Tit Lover 85. So, so I was like, why did I think this was valid? I don't know. Fake Tit Lover 85 says it's true. So this has got to be the. Sure.
I want to meet this man.
1985. I love it. Oh God.
Yeah. So,
oh man, that's awesome.
it reminded me of
The coolest dude ever.
I had this Toyota Celica that I loved and had for years, and finally had to sell it, but it had enough miles where I could sell it to just a dude, and that's all having trouble parting with it, and finally sold it. He drove off, and we wrote up like a fake receipt kind of thing that would never really hold up in court or whatever,
Yeah.
And he wrote his email on it, and it was all like crazy tits 69. It was like his email. I was like, oh Jesus! I was like, it's so macabre.
You need to send a random email to that email address and see if he's still around.
Want my car back?
Did you ever see that video of that guy that was signing into court, and his handle was like buttfucker 420 or something like that?
No.
And the judge was like, "Are you really coming in here with buttfucker 420?" And the guy's like, "Oh my God!" And like,
It's like, it's my email. I can't change it now.
oh man, I love that shit. I really can't wait for the new album just so we can do something like this with that.
The whole new album. Yeah.
There's so many lyrics, it seemed like, just from seeing the live shows, that there's going to be a lot to be able to break down and decipher.
Yeah.
So,
he's going to put it all printed out, though.
Well, I'm not going to read it.
Don't read it. Did you ever have a thought on when he was mumbling in Disintegration? Because it is like real faint.
Yeah,
and
that's
right after the first verse, there's like and even getting this, I haven't really gone back and tried to see how much it matches up. But the one part is, and now the end of my wonderful existence, he says.
No.
Which sounds a little over the top. Yeah. I hear the existence part, though, little. I checked it out, but I need to do like the full headphones on You know,
I still haven't been able to decipher it 100%. And it's like still one of the questions. If I ever got a chance to ask Robert anything,
Yeah.
that would be one of the top questions I would ask him.
Yeah.
Just because it's my favorite song by The Cure,
You want to
and
know every part.
it fucking bugs me that I don't know exactly what that line is.
This dude had like "Don't be frightened" was the first part he says, and then after the first verse says, "And now the end of my wonderful existence," which
If that's it, I'm gonna be very disappointed.
Well,
with
that's
Robert.
well. I hate to tell you that that's what's listed in the lyrics on Spotify when you can read the lyrics.
oh really?
And no, but here's the thing: people can't enter this. Only the label or the band enters this. So I can't see the label or the band approving incorrect lyrics as.
Sure.
So I mean,
Have you seen some of the merch that Robert has let other people do?
true. But I'm just saying these
goes all the way to the top.
These have to get entered. Yeah, this has to get entered by the band or the label. No, you can't like edit it.
I don't hear it though. Because when we did our disintegration episode, we were going through this, and even the misheard lyric thing is like I don't hear that, and I don't know. If it is that, it is what it is. But like I would really want to ask him, and he probably won't even fucking know.
Yeah, it's like if that dude's comment on the Mick Carr one, he didn't even remember. Then he wrote him back.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know what the fuck I'm saying.
I mean, I could throw it into Logic and mess with the EQ to try to pull the music down.
That's what I think. Yeah, that's what I think a lot of people have done.
Low. Yeah, that one's like really fucking quiet. Because the other one on Last Dance was one forever where he pulls the line from Cold. Your name like ice into my heart, and that one, as soon as you hear it, you know it, and it's like, oh yeah, that's totally it. And which would lead me to think that the mumble line would have been another like pornography song lyric or something. Because remember, he said that there's a ton of those in there initially, like little Easter eggs, but they got rid of most of them. And he said most of them, which I don't know if there's any other ones really. Is there any other?
I can't think off the top of my head.
Unless that is that a line from some obscure ass.
Not that I know of, but I just
don't be frightened. Now the end of my wonderful existence. Which seems a little over the top, but maybe that's why he turned it down really fucking low. He's like, yeah, that's a little dramatic for me even. Just pull it way down in the mix. But
my best guess is if what you're saying is true, Antonio, and that like he had to, if he approved it, my best guess is that he just saw it and was like, I don't remember what I said. Sure.
Yeah. Well, because the other thing is from in my working with Rhino Records on these parties, even like the flyers I had to get approved that I was making by Rhino, and they said they do have to float everything past Robert, like literally everything. So I'm
it's like, I hope you got 6 months.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe he's fast though. Maybe that's why
I feel like
everything else takes forever because he's okaying flyers.
I'm thinking he's pretty
stop bothering
involved
him
in all that. So, yeah, I know.
You're the reason why the new album isn't.
Well, I'm also gonna put like secretly in the flyer for the Japanese Whisper event that I'm gonna do. Like, listen to the.
Oh my god! Podcast. Don't do another one. You're doing a Japanese Whisper one?
Well, they're re-releasing it on June 7th on vinyl.
Again?
Yeah.
Didn't they just do that?
It's gonna have the packaging is different, but there's no unreleased songs or anything on it. So they won't say they said.
Oh, they just did a picture disc last time.
Like The Cure did it. Yeah, maybe that one wasn't through Rhino. Like the
right.
But is this one just on black vinyl?
I have nothing else except for they said it's really cool. I don't have it yet. I haven't seen it yet.
I mean, I could see them because I think they just might have released it on a picture disc, and then they did where they're doing what they did before, where they did a picture disc, and then a little time later they did it on black vinyl.
Yeah.
So because not everybody likes picture discs.
That really throws off the anniversary
That's
vibe
weird.
of like why. Yeah, but cool.
I'm down. I would. That's one I would buy.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take it. Yeah, I'm into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the only information that I got is it has no it's not remixed or anything and no bonus material, but the packaging is really cool and that really was in capital letters.
All right.
So
I wonder if they
We'll
changed
keep
the
you
front
posted.
cover.
Hey.
because there's not even a picture of it on Rhino's website either.
Interesting.
So I might be dropping this news and maybe I wasn't supposed to say anything, but
Yeah,
I mean
let me
June
know if you
7th
need me
is
to
not
cut.
that far from right now, so I'm kind of like, all right.
I mean,
June
the
7th.
the 25 of our listeners are
Yeah,
scrambling to tell Rhino they heard.
Yeah,
What? So there you go. You say you don't get anything worthwhile out of the holy hour. You got some exclusive scoop right there.
Yeah. What?
I mean, it's a beloved record of the Cure. So I mean, I think it'll do pretty well.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I do like Rhino's packaging and the way they do things. So yeah, got nothing against them.
All right, so to wind down, we didn't have an exact lyric that Hot Honey Colored sent in, but it was more of an overall statement. We'll end with that, I reckon. It says, growing up recording off the radio, pushing pause and play every 5 seconds, I'm getting flashbacks on Love Cats and still botching the lyrics on B-sides like Throw Your Foot or the 1,000-word sling of 100 years or Figurehead. At this point, do I really want to know what he's really saying? Or do I just go with my heart? I think that was kind of our final statement, was especially after all these years, a lot of times, even if you do correct yourself, you're going to slip back into the old misheard lyric and sing it anyway when in the heat of the moment. I would love like some kind of bootleg of somehow pulling the whole band out when you're at a show and it's all the people singing along.
Right. Yeah.
You can hear the shit that people are actually singing.
Yeah,
you know?
that'd be great.
Everyone's singing like
All the amazing
different-
pitches that are going on.
completely
Oh,
out of
man.
tune, and that would be the
Amazing.
best. So that's what I want to use AI for, is to remove the actual band from a bootleg and only have
That'd
crowd
be
singing
like be a
along.
really funny skit to like stand outside of a Cure concert and just like ask people like, sing your favorite Cure song. You know, just like
yeah, it's one of those it's
them,
like
like,
horrible
make them do
news
it a
facts
cappella
kinda thing.
on the streets. Just like,
Yeah.
they'd probably
Well said.
you
Most-
get some gems. I bet.
I'm sure you would. That'd
Yeah.
be amazing. I have
most
a
of us-
bootleg of a Cure concert from the 80s that I think somebody recorded with a tape recorder, because you can hear a lot of crowd noise and chatting. So it's bad. It's bad. But
Yeah.
like
You
that's
hear
like the
someone
closest
like,
you'll
"Pass
probably
me
ever
the
get.
joint, bro." You're like, "What?"
I've referenced it before, but one of my earliest bootlegs I had a tape of that I copied off of somebody. It was great because it was from like Faith era, and they're playing some super slow like Funeral Party or something, and you hear the dude go, "It'll get better when they play their old shit," like it was like super. I gotta track that down.
That's
and, like,
great.
digitize
I
it or
love that
something.
shit.
But he's like, when they play their old shit, or something. I was like, wow, damn, even back then, it's like, yeah, I don't know what this boring new phase is, but when they play the old catchy shit like Plastic Passion, that's when the party
That's when the party gets popping.
You and the Hansa. I can't wait for that shit to come on.
Wait till you hear 10:15 on a Saturday night.
Jealous that there's Cure fans out there that actually uttered I like the early shit back in '81, so
That's amazing.
pretty cool. But
Yeah.
but yeah, I think that wraps it up. Like I said, some good songs just to check out in general. A few hours after this, Too Late, Harold and Joe are all ones that may surprise you when you look at the lyrics. So very cool. And
Yeah. I just think that like I know that Antonio, just like coming from the punk and hardcore scene, that like sometimes you'll never know what people sing.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you just
Sing,
Yeah.
sing what you,
just
yeah.
you just enjoy yourself and then sing what you sing. and it matters to you what it matters to you. So you're not too
Yeah.
cool for school if you don't know the lyrics. So
Right. I'm sure Robert would even endorse people coming up with their own interpretations too, and get a laugh out of that and be like, no, if that makes you like the song better, sing it that way.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
as someone that's fucked up lyrics live,
Yeah.
it is what it is,
But yeah, some good standout ones on this. We didn't
Yeah.
quite get a giggle biscuit, I don't think, but there's some pretty fun ones there. Like, let's see, a lot of arse ones were good. Throwing your arse, frozen arses. Like the Scream, the annual Scream was really good. And of course, Tequila Bees might be a new
I think that might be my favorite one.
song. Yeah, so some good stuff. Oh, and the Manatees. I like that. That's a good.
Yeah. That's gonna live rent free in my head.
So sorry if we ruined any of these songs, and that's all you hear now, Cure fans out there. If you're like, great, now all I hear are Manatees every time I hear this song. So sorry, not sorry, I guess. But so start taking notes. Maybe in about 2 years we'll do Misinterpreted Lyrics II and see where it takes us. Yeah, so everybody go out there, put on some songs that you know you're getting the words to, turn it up, sing along poorly, and so thanks guys. Chaz, Antonio, have a great rest of the week. Antonio, be safe
too.
in Italy. Is
Yeah.
it safe to declare that to the world?
Yes,
You
I am
going?
headed to Italy, to the
All
motherland.
right. How long?
You're gonna get some authentic gabagool.
Gabagool,
there is
hey, oh, hey.
Hey,
oh,
you got your
right.
tracksuits lined up and everything.
Oh yeah, full Adidas tracksuit. You know what I'm saying? I got some fake Gucci.
Nice.
Oh my god, I love it. I just picture you just walking around like fucking Venice and just like a tracksuit and a toothpick.
Fucking beautiful.
Yeah, I'm going to Rome and Naples.
Nice.
Like, look at this shit. It's fucking
Is it-
amazing.
Hey,
Look at
look at
Hey.
that over here.
Is it official vacation, or do you have a mission or anything?
Non-official vacation.
That's awesome, man.
Cool, man. Well, be safe and post lots of pictures.
Will do.
Absolutely.
We'll catch you next time here on the Holy Hour. Talk hard.
Ciao.
Falling down a mountain and I pick myself up. I crash into an iceberg. Oh, I don't give a frightful look around. If I am burning, then I put myself out. I'm so completely a fool. I scare the world inside out.
All right, again, a very special thank you to Chaz and Antonio and you guys for listening. And a great big thank you to everyone that sent in or posted a misinterpreted lyric contribution. My cries for help were answered, so thank you for helping make this episode come to life. If you want to hear a long version of the closing of this episode, become a Patreon member over at patreon.com/The Holy Hour Podcast. As we're wrapping up this episode, we kind of just had a nice ramble, and instead of cutting it all out like normal, I made it into a holy half-hour episode, which are these little bonus mini episodes that I post about once a month over there. And in this extended ending, we talk about how cool it would be if there was a 7-inch box set for The Cure. 1 year anniversary of the tour. We talked about how we were going to listen to the new album if and when it ever comes out. All of this before we said our final talk hard. So go sign up, check it out over at Patreon. And like I said, fun rambling. And speaking of the Patreon, let's shout out our current members. All of these people are excellent humans, and I would follow them into battle any day. We've got Donna, Craig, Jeff Hilton, Jeff Cortland Jones, Sue, Ben, John, Alan, Allison, Dion, Amicio, Matt, welcome back, Matt, Danny, Coulter, Matt Ford, Tom Johnson, Tom Burns, Letty, John Roberts, Francisco, Bunny Lake, Jason, Craig Bellinger, Amber, Nicholas, Arno, Chad, Shirley, and our newest member, Jason Hall. Jason is a super cool guy that I've been talking to for a few years now and always enjoy getting messages from, so couldn't be happier than to have him join the mix over here. So welcome, Jason, and keep an eye out for some goodies that are on the way shortly. Tanya is also part of the crew and would like to spread awareness on 988lifeline.org, a suicide and crisis hotline with over 200 crisis call centers located all over the U.S., available 24/7, offering free and confidential support for people in distress and numerous prevention and crisis resources. Call or chat online if you or anyone you know is in need of help. Tim is part of New Waterloo, an independent hospitality development, design, and management company that owns and operates hotels and restaurants all over the U.S. and beyond. Find their many locations at newwaterloo.com. Scott Kruger is co-host of the Sarlacc Digest, a weekly Star Wars podcast that airs live every Wednesday evening, 8 p.m. Pacific time on YouTube and Facebook, or catch the replays anytime you want, any day you want, everywhere you listen to podcasts. Along with their new bi-weekly shows that rotate every Monday, Sarlacc Toy Chest and Beyond the Pit. You can find all of those at Sarlacc Digest's YouTube page. Also hoping to get Scott back on here on the Holy Hour very soon, so fingers crossed. Dana is a motion designer and animator ready to help out your business or project. Check out her amazing work at graphics.tv. That's graphics with an X.tv. Then head on over to curethreads.com to pick yourself out one of Kate's original Cure-inspired designs and artwork, including an entire manatee section, actually. I was right. There is a manatee section at curethreads.com. You can get Duran Duran, Devo, Joy Division designs, all with manatees on it. And of course, there's a Robert one in there too on a vinyl sticker, so go have a look. And also be sure to follow Cure Arts Collab on Instagram to participate and or just admire other original Cure artwork from fans like you. Over there, they are sharing all kinds of cool Cure art with the new themes being announced regularly. Lisa recommends you visit Dickens up in Calgary, Canada. If you want to catch a great show or event, you can see the full listing of upcoming shows at dickensyyc.com. And likewise, if you're down south in the Little Rock, Arkansas area, take Jessica's word for it and check out Club Nevermore for a genuine goth experience. ClubNevermore.com has their full listings and details. And of course, Chaz's other podcast, the X Communication Station, is where he, Donovan, and Chrissy, thanks again, Chrissy, for the contribution, dive into the often dark and puzzling side of church life. New episodes come out every week where you can listen to your podcasts. You can find them. As for us, please subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. You can follow our Facebook page and Instagram pages in case I need your help again. Actually, I think I will be shouting out for your help soon. Fascination Street. Yeah, we're going to do a feature episode. Can you believe we haven't done that yet? Talking all about the single, the video, the B-sides, the usual deep dives. So if you have any personal stories or strong feelings whatsoever about Fascination Street, please email them to me at gavinconner@gmail.com. Get them to me as soon as you can. We'd love to include it in the episodes. So lots of great stuff on the horizon. Once again, thanks for listening, and we'll see you back here next time. Talk hard.